and actually talk a little bit about getting some perspective from your peers on their experience at Sierra College, all right? So at this time, what I would like to invite each person to do is to please share your first name, your pronouns, and also kind of your affiliation to Summer Jam. So maybe it might be your role, things like that. Just give me a quick da-da-da-da-da, starting with you.
Hi, my name's Leisha. My pronouns are she, her, and hers, and I'm a peer mentor for the Wanati cohort.
My name is Allison. My pronouns are she, her, and hers, and I'm a tutor in the Tutor Center.
My name is Stephanie. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. I am a peer leader and program facilitator at the Student Engagement Centers and a tutor at the Tutoring Center.
My name is Zamorian, and my pronouns are she, her, and hers, and I'm a part of the RISE program. I'm in the BE cohort. Woo woo!
Hi, I'm Ashlyn. My pronouns are she, her, and hers, and I'm a peer mentor for the RISE program for cohort Halas.
My name's Sean Kavanaugh. My pronouns are he, him, and his, and I am a peer tutor in the Tutor Center.
Nice.
Good suspense there. My name is Ahmed, pronouns he, him, and his, and I'm also a tutor at the Tutoring Center.
Excellent. So right now we're talking about all this, being on this journey together, right? You all being in the driver's seat. So let's hear a little bit about their kind of experiences being in the driver's seat as they were kind of navigating higher education. So what I like to do is to begin the panel with this question. Tell us in about like 30 seconds, commercials, okay? Tell us about your journey to Sierra College. Perhaps you can think about it in terms of what got you here, or you can think about it as something of significance while you've been here. Maybe it's a destination, but something about your journey. Tell us about your journey at Sierra College.
All right. Hi. I graduated from Rockland High in 2017. I don't know who's from Rockland.
You know one.
When I graduated, I was really quiet and introverted. I never thought I'd be on a panel speaking to everyone. I came to Sierra just because I was like, well, I'm going to go to college, but I didn't really apply to anyone or any other schools. When I first got here, it's really nervous. I was in your positions, and then got really involved with the RISE program and clubs, and yeah, it's been great.
So I started at Sierra 2 years ago as a 16-year-old high school graduate. I was absolutely terrified of coming here because I was homeschooled. I had never sat in a classroom with any other people before. And I wasn't really excited about it. All my friends were going to four-year colleges, so I felt kind of left out. But I've never been more wrong about anything. Sierra absolutely changed my life. I just graduated with my associates in political science this May, and I'll be transferring to Texas A&M University this fall to finish my bachelor's.
I believe the saying is hook 'em horns. Good job, hook 'em horns.
No.
Oh, the Aggies.
Yeah.
Oh, dang, I bet I
I'm
exit
offended.
right.
So for me, I started at Sierra College at 17 while I was still in high school. It was very overwhelming, and what I kept being told in high school by my teachers is that, you can't have an opinion, you can't be very talkative in class, you have to be respectful, and that's not my experience at Sierra. You can be super opinionated, and it's respected here. I was really, really nervous because I went to a charter school, and it was very small. I had about 200 folks there, and I felt like I wasn't going to have a community here. And what I did is I found my niche. I found the folks that were similar to me. I found folks that were different from me, and I found my family on campus that made me feel like I had a home away from home. So, yeah.
So for me, I had this stigma on two-year colleges. I was like, oh, I don't want to go to a two-year. All my friends are going to four-year. They're going to Sac State, UC Berkeley. They're going, different places. So I was like, I don't really want to go to a two-year in my area. I'm from Rancho, so I didn't want to go to okay. So I didn't want to go to like ARC, Sac City. So my uncle was telling me about Sierra College, and I wanted like the full college experience. So they had dorms here, and I applied, and I was on the waiting list, so I didn't get in. But I was like, I'm already here at Sierra. So my uncle kind of referred me to Sierra College, and then I've been here ever since. I was super nervous, just like you guys are. But I really love Sierra, and I love being a part of RISE, and yeah, that's about it.
So my experience at Sierra College has been, speaking about driving a car, it's basically been like driving a car without a license. I've just been crashing into things and up and down, like crashing the trees, crashing into the river, and not knowing how to swim, and trying to figure out how to swim when you don't know how to swim. And that's why I think that this being here, all of you, is such a great thing, because instead of jumping into a river not knowing what the hell you're doing, you're here with lifeguards, a support group that's going to get you through all of this, so you're going to reach your destination. So we're kind of like your lifeguards and your lighthouses. And I would say, to sum up my experience, it's been chaotic, confusing, but through challenges, I found my way, and I feel really blessed to be a part of this program of RISE, and I feel blessed to be with all of you here today.
Hello. So, when I started high school, I was that guy. I was like, I'm never, ever going to community college. Like, I'm too good for that. I'm going to go to a 4-year. But fast forward through high school, I didn't do so well, and once I finally graduated, I didn't know what I wanted to do. So my aunt told me about Sierra College. She's like, come here, take classes, get a job, and see how it turns out. So I did that. I eventually moved into the Sierra College dorms. I highly recommend them, especially if you're an introverted person like me who has trouble making friends on occasion. And now I just have 1 more year before I will finally transfer this UC Santa Barbara.
So, I went to Granite Bay High School. Any Grizzlies in the house? Just like 3 people? Okay. All right. So, I started off as a biology major, and then I picked up a psychology degree along the way, and I graduated last semester, and I'm going to Sac State. And I would say my experience was very interesting. I got through within 2.5 years. I wouldn't have done it, though, without all the support systems that we have, the tutoring center, the writing center, the peer mentors. And I'm glad to be one of them and helping you guys, helping the new students. And yeah, that was it.
Thank you all for sharing. So if you see, a lot of the themes are kind of around uncertainty, you know, the desire to having, perhaps thinking about your peers who maybe went on to 4-year and you're at a 2-year institution, right? And all of these stories really speak to the perseverance of seeing how it is that they found themselves with the right support systems to continue on and to actually advance in their academic pursuits. So I hope that you all notice those themes, because how many of you feel that way a little bit? You're a little bit nervous, you got friends that are going to 4-year, right? Now you got to make a whole new set of homies. Like, yeah, you know, so it's real. So you're not alone in that. And so know that that the potential for community here is very, very real. So our next question for our panel, I'm going to ask, for right now, I'm just going to ask the first 3 folks, and then I'll kind of go to the no, do it staggered. I got you. No, yeah, okay.
They have it.
I
So
see it. Okay.
We're self-running.
Okay, I see. I see the goal.
Student-driven here.
I see the true color gold in the house, so I better not get off script. So I'm not going to do that. Okay. So at this time, I'd like to invite. Is it Lisha? Okay, Ahmed, Ashlyn, Zamorin, Zamorin. Help me out. I hear you.
Zamorin.
Zamorin.
Yep, there you go.
Zamorin. Zamorin in the house. Okay. And Sean.
You're still saying it wrong.
I'm still saying it wrong?
Okay, you ready?
Yes. I want the lesson because I want y'all to respect my name right? So I should be respecting other people's pronunciation.
Okay,
Z,
more,
more,
re,
re,
and
N,
Zamorian.
Zamorian. Ahí está el acento. Zamorian. All right? Zamorian. Well, look, because can I make a point on that? When we're getting to know one another, like, we got to be understood, right? So we
yeah.
got to make ourselves vulnerable. I work in the cross-cultural center. Does that automatically assume I'm going to know how to pronounce everyone's name? No. No, yet sometimes we hold each other to these expectations, but we got to be brave, right? We got to be able to say, step back, help me out. I want to learn and understand this, right? So I hope that you all see that I'm trying to model that. That's like, okay, so now I got Zamorian. Yeah, but I'm going to practice. I'm going to do it right.
We'll work on it.
We will. All right.
Zamorian.
So with that, and that is what the real opportunity is to continue learning, like I will continue after this panel. All right. So the question is, in your opinion, how is college different from high school? What do you wish you knew about college before starting your first year at Sierra College?
So at Rockland High, the large majority of the student body is white and upper middle class. I didn't really fit into that, so I've kind of always felt like an outsider. But I love Sierra because there's so much diversity. Everyone comes from different walks of life. My first semester, I had students who were older than I was expecting, and it kind of, you get to see different perspectives. And something I wish I knew before coming is how exhausting it is. Working 2 jobs, going to school full time as a double major, drink a lot of coffee.
Should I go? All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So I would say high school is definitely different than college. The main difference is I would say the professors are kind of mean. Don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone. Yeah. But at a community college, it's different. There's more of a connection between the professor and the students. The classes are smaller. You get the person-to-person contact with the professor. So that's a good reason for choosing Sierra College. And that is something that I didn't know about Sierra too. My whole idea about college was go to class, go back home, do homework. But I know Sierra College gives you a different experience. You can hang out here. There's a lot of stuff to do. There's a lot of centers you can visit, and yeah.
My turn.
No.
Go ahead, sir. You can ask something. You sure?
Yeah, I'll go.
Late.
So, the difference between high school and college. Well, in high school, you are forced to spend a lot of time with the same people for 4 whole years. And at least in my experience, you're kind of forced to at least make some friends. But I think in college, it's a different atmosphere. You really have to put yourself out there and take the initiative to create support groups. And having your own support group in college is really important to your success.
For me, I actually didn't graduate from high school. I went to an adult school and got my GED. I had a hard time in high school. I got moved around a lot. But for the brief time I was in high school, I would say so there's positive and there's negatives. I would say one of the downsides to the transition from high school to college is if you had a close-knit group of people. In high school, it's difficult because a lot of those people might have transferred to other universities or not attending school. So for me, it was very lonely being here for a while because I didn't have any friends. I'm a very quiet person. So usually in class, I would just sit by myself and just stare at people, which is kind of awkward. So I would say that can be difficult because you have to work in some way to Whether it's through clubs or working on campus, you have to do something in order to be seen or responded to, because often people won't approach you. Everyone kind of does their own thing. So that can be lonely. I would say the positive side to that actually can be, hey, no one knows you. So you can reinvent yourself in college. Maybe in high school, you were known for being a certain way, you were judged. Here, you're not gonna have that. No one, whatever title or you had in high school, that's gone, it's dead. So you can restart here, you can be a new person, and you can change who you are every semester, because every semester you're in new classes, you're with new professors, so you can start over every time you want, which is pretty cool. And, sorry, I'm like running on. What's the last question to this? Isn't there?
What you wish you knew?
I would.
Answer number 2.
Okay. What I wish I knew was that it's okay not to know what you want to do in life. I felt rushed by my family to figure things out really quickly, because a lot of people in my family didn't go to college, so I felt pressured to hurry up and figure something out, and it was really difficult for me because I like lots of stuff. I like math, I like science, I like interacting with people, I like anthropology, I like all sorts of things. So I couldn't like figure stuff out. So I would say it's okay not to know what you want to do, but I recommend you like reach out to counselors and resources on campus. So I wish I had done that at the beginning, and that's what I would have encouraged my younger self.
So mine's gonna be short and sweet. For me, why I think college is different from high school is because high school, you kind of have like your clique and you've been with them since freshman year, you know what I mean, or sophomore year or whatever, so you're kind of like really close. But in college, I feel like it's more independent. You got your own stuff going on, you're working, you know what I mean, you're going to school, you're doing stuff like that. So you don't really have time to like create a group in college or like be cliquey. So for me personally, I had like a real cliquey group in high school, and when I got to college, I didn't really know anybody, and I'm super outgoing, so I like to make friends, but I had to like learn, like, okay, you need to study, like this is your time to like do your own thing. I just walk around doing my own thing, so I learned that it's really like independent. You're just doing your own thing a lot of, like majority of the time. And then what I wish I knew is how stressful it's gonna be, you know, especially if you work and go to school. I didn't work in high school, thank God. You know, I was blessed with that privilege. So when I got to college, I had to work and I had to juggle that, and I had to like manage my time, when to get up, all that kind of stuff. And I had no idea how stressful that was gonna be. So yeah, just juggling work and school is really stressful. And when all these things are coming at you at once, you gotta know how to like handle it. So I wish I knew how scary that would be, yeah.
Thank you all for sharing. The next question is in regards to what is the biggest challenge you faced as a college student, and how did you overcome it?
So the biggest challenge I faced as a college student was definitely learning how to study, because in high school I did something that resembled studying at times. But when I had a wake-up call my first semester, I had like 10-page study guides in my science classes. Don't worry, they're not all like that, remain calm. Vocabulary lists in my art history classes, and you just have to learn what different techniques work best for how you study. So maybe you like studying with other people, form a study group, talk to people in your classes. If you like learning by yourself, quiz yourself, ask someone to quiz you. Just experiment with different studying styles so you're not caught off guard by the time that big first test comes.
So my biggest challenge, I would honestly say, first starting out, it was a lot of things were hitting me at one time. You know what I mean? Financially, you know, just getting your first job, you don't get paid that much. So I had to juggle, like, my money's small. Family problems, people getting sick, parents got bills to pay. I got my own stuff. I got to pay gas, you know what I mean? Gas. So when all that stuff hit me at like one time, I didn't really know how to handle it, but what I did was to kind of like motivate me. I basically just thought like, okay, why am I here at school? Like, what's motivating me to do this? And it's my parents, so I constantly had to like remind myself, okay, you got your mom I got my mom cheering me on, dad's cheering me on, my brother's looking up, so I gotta keep pushing, I gotta keep it going. Like, I can't quit, I can't cry about it, I just gotta keep going. So that's kind of how I handled all that stress when it all hit me at one time.
I would say I face different challenges, but I would say recently, I would say it's time management. I work 2 jobs. I work about 35 hours, and I'm on campus from like the morning, and then I go home like at 9:30 at night. So I would say like exhaustion and finding the motivation to keep going, because like it's hard. It's really difficult to be able to continue to do homework, to show up to classes when you're tired. You maybe haven't eaten well, and so that can be really difficult. And I would say the way I deal with that is just being kind of control of my mind, that, you know, this is temporary. College is going to be over one day, and I'm going to have a career, and everything is going to be okay. So I just kind of self-talk to get myself to just keep going, and yeah, that's about it.
So for me, my biggest challenge, my family, like my parents had never gone to college, so, and coming to Sierra, it's a pretty affluent community, and everyone, like, I've been told all the time the biggest predictor if you're gonna go to college is if your parents went, and so I felt like I didn't really belong a lot of the times. Also being queer on this campus, I was like nervous. I'm like, are people gonna accept me for who I am? High school wasn't very easy navigating that experience and that identity. So for me, it was really about, I hid a lot of like who I was because of that. And then what I learned to, after semester and semester here, I learned to be like open about who I am and open about my identity, and recognizing that I belong here just as much as the next person sitting next in the class next to me. And that, you know, it's okay to be who you are, and you belong on this campus, and this is a time for you to be selfish. I know that sounds weird, but that was a big obstacle for me to overcome. I wanted to give and, you know, be in every club and be everywhere, and it's okay to find community in that way, but put yourself as a priority. Be selfish. This is a time in your life where you put you and your family's priorities before anyone else. It's okay to like put yourself first and be like your biggest motivator, and you just kind of have to learn how to navigate that. So, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much, y'all. So, Willie, our president superintendent, talked a lot about engagement, getting engaged. So y'all know he didn't mean get a ring, you know, don't put a ring on it. He meant really kind of get involved. So this next question has to do with engagement and how that plays a role in keeping you all on campus. That there's more to life than just what you study. It's actually how you engage campus life. So I'd like to invite the panel to consider this question. What are extracurricular activities or programs, may they be campus clubs, student government, campus jobs, perhaps student engagement centers, that you are involved in, and how they have impacted your college experience?
All right, so as Sergio said, a good way to get engaged is to get a job on campus. It's a very good thing to put on your resume, considering that most of you want to transfer. I worked at the tutoring center for a year and a half, and it's been awesome. The environment there is great. It's a great supporting environment there. I also worked as a past peer, which is a teacher assistant in one of the classes. I was also involved in the student government, ASSC, as the director of public relations. So I got to talk to people, meet new people, tell them about the student government. So if you're interested in that, or interested in politics, or if you're a poli-sci major, or even if you want to make a change in college, that's where you should go. That's where you should voice your opinion there. And so you said clubs. So I was involved in multiple clubs. For example, the STEM club. Any STEM majors in the house? No? Yeah, we're the cool guys. What? Yeah, we are. All right, and so I was involved in the STEM club and the microbiology club, and yeah. And there's also some other centers or clubs that you can go to. I know the student engagement centers are awesome. They're always there for you. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
Yeah, so my number one tip would be get involved. Find groups and friends that you can be yourself with and really get involved. I'm a part of the pre-med club. It's really cool. Every week we have a new doctor come in and they just give a little presentation about what their daily tasks are, and you're able to ask them questions, how schooling was for them, where they went, what their experience is like. We actually even went over and looked at the cadaver on campus, and that was really interesting. And then I'm also a part of the Native American Pacific Islander Club, and we're planning a big event in March. And then they also sent me and a few other students to a conference in LA. It was really nice to get to meet other people, other scholars, see what other people are working on in the community. And yeah. Oh, I also went to another conference in Berkeley called the Doctors on Board Pipeline Program. You also get to meet a lot more other doctors. You get to have one-on-one conversations, and they're almost like your mentors in a way. There was a suture clinic where we like stitched up a pig's heart. It was really cool. Yeah.
So I was a part of the political science club on campus, so if any of you are political science majors, like, you should join it. We need more people. But it gave me the opportunity to meet people who were also in my major and just talk about politics, especially now, you know, that's kind of the, let's not talk about that, but it gives you a place to talk about it in a comfortable environment. I was also a part of the Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society, which is the National Two-Year Honor Society for community colleges. So if you maintain a 3.5 or above GPA, you'll be getting an email at the end of the semester. I highly encourage you to join. They have scholarship opportunities when you transfer, and it also looks really good on a resume. But the most important activity that meant the most to me here at Sierra was being a tutor in the tutor center. I absolutely loved getting to help students, especially with the subjects I was most passionate about, and just getting them to have that light bulb moment. I've been getting emails from them, you know, they're telling me how they did on their tests. It makes you feel really good about being able to help students understand something that they struggle with.
So yeah, I obviously would advise getting involved in extracurricular activities on campus. So for me, I've been involved in multiple extracurricular activities. When I was in high school, I ran for vice president of the ASSC, the student government here at Sierra College, and I won. So for my freshman year, I spent a year on that, and I got a lot out of it. And once I knew that I got as much as I could out of that, I moved on, and I became a president of a club called Beyond Diversity Club, which helped me learn leadership qualities and listening to the folks who you're working with and collaborating with. It also created connections with faculty, which when you create connections with faculty, it helps your success in that class because teachers recognize you and see you more often. Then I also work on campus at the student engagement centers. I do program facilitating, so I create my own curriculum and programs and invite other student scholars to come in and participate in the discussion and dialogues. This helped me really bridge a gap in between the student, faculty, and administration that they're, historically is associated with higher education. By working with faculty and having them bring their whole classrooms in or coming and doing programs in their classrooms, it's important for other student scholars to see their peer in a position where they can instruct and teach in an academic setting, and you don't need a degree for that in that sense. I also, by getting involved in like ASSC and working with other faculty, I was, forced to be in a sense, very outspoken, and sometimes being the only student in a room full of other faculty or administrators, you learn to advocate for other folks, and you learn to elevate your voice and amplify it, because if we're not there in those meetings with faculty and administrators, then the students' voices don't get heard. And so I would encourage you all to voice your experience and talk about what it's like being a student on campus, because the administrators and faculties won't know unless we speak up.
So, you want to go first for the question 5? Question 5, whoever, Sean? It's not you.
It's yours. This is me. It's not mine.
All right, I'm doing this.
Short and sweet.
Sir, you want to say the question?
Okay.
Oh, yeah, next one?
So we have to have time for the Q&A, so I thought.
Sorry.
Underlink.
All right, so the next question is the fifth question.
Yeah.
All right. So if you could give one advice, piece of advice to a new student to help them be successful in college, what would it be?
Well, I think to be successful in college, you really need to work with your classmates. A lot of people think they can just go home and crack open the book and do the homework problems and succeed. But I've found that if you work with your friends on the class material, you have a much higher chance of success. And that's coming from, I'm a chemical engineering major, so hopefully my word has weight.
What's that supposed to mean? No, I'm sorry. So the one piece of advice I would probably give you is to know why you're here and know who you're doing it for. That's a big motivation for me. And don't ever think college is not for you because you made it this far. You did the whole college process. You did all that stuff, paperwork, all that kind of stuff. So don't ever feel like it's not for you because it is, because you're here right now looking at me. So, yeah. And, and also to surround yourself with people who are like you. So if you know that you're not really, or even people who are not like you, like if you're kind of like a slacker, then kick it with the kids who be chilling up there in the tutoring center. You know what I'm saying? Like don't get distracted and be so much around your friends. Like meet new people who are different, kind of different interests. So yeah.
So the biggest piece of advice that I would give you is to talk to your professors. They're not as scary as they seem, and that's coming from someone who had a fear of professors like my first semester. Talk to them before class, after class. Just go up, introduce yourself so they can put a face with the name. Also, go visit them in their office hours. Ask questions. And if you start to feel like you're having a problem in the class, you know, life happens, let them know ahead of time. They're so willing to work with you, but they can't help you if they don't know what's going on. So get to know them. Like, I benefited so much from getting to know my professors here, and like when I say goodbye to them tomorrow, like I may cry, so give me a hug. But
Yeah, definitely to echo what Maureen said and what Allison said. Obviously, build those relationships and those foundations because you're more likely to succeed because you're in a way held accountable because you've been made visible in that classroom. So those professors will see you from then on. They'll see you when you raise your hand. They'll know you. They'll know your name. The best piece of advice I ever got is if a professor knows your name, you're not going to fail that class because they'll see you. They'll see you when you're struggling. So make that connection. And I know sometimes there are professors you're just like, I cannot connect with this person. They are not for me. That's what the tutors are for. We're really cool. And we sometimes get bored if no one comes and gets tutoring lessons. So utilize us. We're here for you. We're here to assist you. And there's nothing wrong with getting tutoring. I know there's sometimes a stigma about asking for help, but we're literally here for you. We get like super stoked when we get new students. We like brag about it. So help boost our egos.
Thank you very much, panel. Oh, wait, no.
To add on really quick,
Write the name down. Okay, Lisa. Go.
to add on really quickly, when you make these connections with your professors or other staff members, you know, they support you in every way, and then they can also help you write really good recommendation letters, help you network and get internships, and yeah, take advantage of that.
Cool. All right, cool. Thank you very much, panel. I do got one more question and one acknowledgement. You know, I've been at Sierra College for 2.5 years. And you know, one of the things that I've always appreciated, this is just me as a staff member, and I think I see this among student scholars like yourselves, is that we give each other some level of allowance to be understanding of one another, right? So we're trying something new today. Sorry, Lisa, I did not get your name on this list. But then we work with it. Like, you know, we don't have to be embarrassed about stuff. We just got to be willing to learn and try things on. So I just know that there is one burning question that y'all should answer before you leave the panel. What's your summer jam? Go ahead. If we can just kind of start from Lisa and then work our way down. What's your summer jam? Now here's the added addition. You got to like sing part of the lyric or make some of the noise. Okay? So just to model the way, Mam Sergio, This Girl was the song that I was playing earlier by, was it Krungs and the Three Burners, Burning Burners or something like that, right? And it goes like this. Dun, 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 right? So, what's y'all summer jam? Go.
My summer jam is Sitting on the Dock by Otis Redding. It's a really old song.
Otis Redding connection.
How
And
do I
what's
say?
the lyric?
Do you want to sing it together?
Do you know the song?
Yeah. Do you want to sing it
Okay.
together? Wait. All right.
Okay.
Sitting on the dock of the bay, watching all the world go by.
Okay, we're done.
I know the Georgia part.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine was a different Otis Redding, so I was like, I'll just jump on that one.
I didn't prepare for this, so every song lyric that's ever been in my head all summer is just gone. But I would have to say, just because I can remember it, you're going to have to help me out. It's by the Chainsmokers. Is it Closer? Yeah. Okay. So, baby, pull me closer in the backseat of your Rover. Yeah.
I already did mine, so we're good.
I have a mic right here. Do I get two? No.
Yeah, you get to. You need to like amplify.
Okay, so my summer jam would probably be, y'all know the song Kiki by Drake. Or it's actually called In My Feelings. You know, like Kiki, do you love me? Are you riding? Yeah, that's my summer jam.
I would say my summer jam is, do y'all know the song "Feeling It Still"? That one? Someone's.
Sing it.
I don't know the
Sound it
person.
out.
I don't know.
The song?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't
That's
know.
okay, try on.
I have no idea.
Well, if you know it, then you know it.
I just like it,
So matters
the,
too. It's your jam.
the beat lives in my heart.
Hello. Anyone familiar with Paramore? Misery Business? Yeah? I'm in the business of misery. Let's take it from the top. Yeah.
So mine is ATM. Anyone listen to that? J. Cole? Anyone? All right. Come with me. Come with me. Count it up. Count it up. Count it up. Count it. Count it up. Count it up. Count it up. Count it.
So excellent job, y'all. So now we even have the most important bonus question. We want to invite, if there's any student scholars, any of you all amongst here in the audience, one or two of you folks who maybe have a question for the panel, something that we didn't ask. You already know their summer jam because I know that was a burning question. Anyone got a question? Perfect.
We got one. We got one.
Oh, I'll run around. I'm fast.
Is this mic
All right,
on?
can you stand, please? And can I invite you to share just your first name and your pronouns, please? And then you can ask your question.
My name's Ty. My pronouns are he, his, and him. I have a question. It's a big one. Where do I park?
I don't know what you said.
I really don't want to be late to like my first class, on Tuesday. So where do I park?
What did you say?
Where do I park? Where's the best place to park?
Oh.
I
Listen.
bussin'.
Well, it all depends on what time you get here. You got to get here early. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Yeah, you got to
Oh,
get
yeah.
here early, like before 8 o'clock. And you're going to get the best parking. I don't know what the lot is, but yeah, come here early.
Yeah.
It's all
For
good.
first-
Go
The
get some
solar
Starbucks.
panel lot near the football field is usually pretty empty. It's a little bit of a walk, but not that bad. Overflow lot for like the first month on campus is open, but it's a dirt parking lot, so I don't know. If you wear white shoes, don't go.
Oh, yeah. The first week of school is going to be packed,
Oh, yeah.
parking-wise, so get here early.
Yeah.
Like, no joke. You're not going to find a park. You're going to have to stalk somebody.
Just go. Park,
All right,
walk to
thank you
Starbucks.
very much.
Spend the night.
So the tip is get here early, but not just early, like hella early, all right? And be open for a healthy walk. Another question. Can you stand, please? So if you can share your first name and your pronouns, please, and then ask your question.
All right, I'm Kayla. My pronouns are his, her, and hers. His? Yes. Yes. Anyways, my question is, what is a more like description of the ASSC? I need like, what do you do in that club? What do you go and do? What are the normal days look like and what times?
You'll go first.
So ASSC is really cool. It's not actually a club, it's a student organization. So you decide, you're kind of like the head of clubs in a way. What you do is we have a budget about $100,000 and you get to work with your fellow student senators to decide where that funding goes to help make this campus more accessible and more student acceptable. Also, you are allowed, when you're on ASSC, you're allowed to have a seat at any like open meeting. So we have what we call academic senate, which is like the government of the faculty. So it's like the student government, but the faculty government, and you're allowed a seat on that, meaning you're allowed a voice on that. Yeah. And a lot of folks look to you to be the leaders amongst your students and speak for the students that don't often like be the person to advocate for the students that often get dismissed in that aspect.
Yeah. So just to just reiterate what Stephanie said. Student Senate, they do a lot of big projects or programs as well. They just got approved to build a new shade structure. We also sponsor a lot of programs, and this is one of the programs that we sponsored. We have almost free lunch, almost free breakfast. More details on that later. Pride Days, you're just going to have a lot of events throughout the semesters, and we get to, or the student body government get to organize those events. And if you choose to be a part of it, you could get to decide how those events go. You can help in organizing. You can give an input to how to improve this college experience.
Thank you very much. So, kind of some things to take away from that. Imagine if you had if you had the power and influence to think about how you'd spend $100,000 to make campus life thriving at Sierra College. That's a great way of thinking about how student government, how it plugs in. Right?
Sergio, right there in the front, in the orange, like,
got you.
shawl.
All right, be right over there. All right.
In the shawl.
Okay, we got time for one more question. Nevada County campus, you're still with us. We don't know where to park when you're over there, but we're thinking about you, Nevada County campus. All right. All right, can you stand?
Oh, no, I won't. Hello, my name is Lauren, and my pronouns are her, hers, and she. My question is kind of along the lines of the ASSC. Is that what it's called? Yep. I got the now. I got it right. How is one to like get involved in that as to be a part of something as big as that?
All right. You're good? Okay. So So you're supposed to run at first, but then the running for office is closed for next semester. However, there are a few open positions as senators, and you can apply to those. So when we do the tour, the peer leaders are going to tell you more about the ASSC. You would grab an application. You have to go attend 3 meetings. And those meetings are on Thursdays, 2 to 4, so make sure you make that free on your schedule. And you have to attend 3 meetings, then you're going to have an interview, and then the board, or basically whoever is on the Senate, they're going to vote you in. So.
You also need 25 signatures to submit your application with.
Yes, 25 signatures.
Fellow students?
Any student, yeah.
Yeah, be like, Simon.
Yeah.
So can I invite folks who are either past ASSC or current or incoming ASSCs to please stand and kind of wave your hands? All right. Also, the ASSC advisor is Juan Blanco over there in the back, all right? So if you are interested in joining student government, these are folks that you should directly connect with, and they can get you informed. The other thing to look forward to is Wolverine Week. It's, I think, the 3rd week of fall, right? So Wolverine Week is like Club Rush. Remember Club Rush and all the clubs like Table? And then, you know, I'm ready to sign up for Baila Sierra Baila because I want to learn some Latinx social dancing. And Sergio seems like a good dancer because I'm one of the advisors. Is Sandy Escobar in the house? Okay, she's not. She's just a great dancer and also the head of the art department. All right? So with that, thank you very much, panel. If I could invite you all back to head to your seats. Yeah, you can head back to your seats. Yeah.
Well, can we pack up first?
Okay? If you want to stroll to your seat, you can. All right?